Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Brian, and this is Lewis.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Here at CES 2016 for IGN. Now, we're at the Oculus booth. Moments after the price was announced, $600 for this thing.
Yep.
But what do gamers care about games? I don't care about the price of anything. If the games are good, I'm in. So you got to play 3 of them today.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So the 2 games that are going to be bundled with the Oculus Rift are Lucky's Tale, which is a 3D platformer, and also Eve Valkyrie. So if you're into the EVE Online universe, it's an offshoot of that.
Right.
So it takes place in that. You get to fly your own spacecraft, and it's super cool.
You're just flying around space, looking at everything with your own
just shoot everything in sight.
magnetized eyes.
Exactly. But Lucky's Tale is super cool. If you ever played Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation,
Hell yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that. It's like super whimsical. You got coins, you got platforming, and it takes both. Lucky's Tale takes place in third person, so it's kind of weird because you think VR and everything is in first person.
Yeah, like seeing your hands in front of you.
So
and stuff
it's
like
kind of like a camera just going over like a diorama.
It's weird to have a 3D platformer as a launch game for a VR headset.
But it somehow
works.
Yeah, I was super immersed in it because I was just looking around.
I grew up playing games like Mario and obviously Mario 64 and Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that, Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see a slight resurgence of stuff like that, especially here on Oculus.
Yeah, like platformers are super old school, and this is the most new school tech, and they kind of converged it in a way that's super compelling and still works.
Now, EVE is obviously much more grandiose, space battles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's it like getting inside of that?
Oh, it's super cool. So immediately you're placed into this jet, this space vessel, this craft, and then you get launched out of this magnetic tube into space, and you're just on a convoy mission, and all of a sudden, all these ships pop out of nowhere, out of hyperspace, and a huge dogfight starts.
Yeah.
And then you can roll with the triggers and shoot with the right trigger, aim with your reticle for missiles with the left trigger, and it's just really intuitive. It took me like 2 seconds to figure out the controls.
Now, were you doing like flips and barrel rolls and all that kind of stuff?
You could, but they recommend you not try that at first because you might hurl.
Yeah.
Because there's no horizon, so you're kind of disoriented.
Oh.
But it's super intuitive after you get the hang of it and know to look where while doing a barrel roll. Then you'll eventually get the hang of it.
I think that's part of it, right? It's that sort of learning curve between, like, I'm used to watching video game cameras take control for so long, but now I can actually kind of look around my cockpit a little
exactly.
bit. So you didn't really find it disorienting?
Not really. That's like, I have motion sickness sometimes for like riding on a train or something, or on a boat, but the Oculus's head tracking is so accurate that everything's one-to-one, and that goes so far to making you not feel sick.
I'm sure they're all very happy you didn't yak all over their carpet back there. So what was the third game you played?
The third game was called Edge of Nowhere. So think of it as Metro Last Light paired with the latest Tomb Raider. So it's also a third-person platformer where you're just you're going through these ice caverns, and you see creepy little monsters in your peripheral, and then the sound design is like super cool. You could turn around, and the sound like feels 3D, like you're actually there.
So now this is a standalone product. This won't be included in the box with the controller and the other games when you get an Oculus Rift. So you'll have to actually connect to the store and purchase this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You think this is like, is this a launch game worth getting?
I think so. If you're into kind of the exploratory, see cool stuff that you've never seen before, I think that's a great game to get.
Yeah, I mean, like, who am I kidding? I bought Knack when the PS4 launched, so give me something above that and I'll be happy. I think when consoles launch, when new video game devices launch, you kind of get lost in it all and you start buying a bunch of things. Some of those are good and some of those are bad, but it sounds like all of these experiences are pretty solid.
Yeah, Oculus has done a great job vetting every single product that's going into their store, so I don't think you'll find anything that's a dud.
Awesome. Well, Lewis, thank you so much for those impressions on those games. Let us know in the comments below if that's enough for you to go buy an Oculus Rift at $600. 3 games is just a starter, but there's going to be plenty more, right?
Tons more.
You promise?
I promise.
It's not just those 3?
No.
Okay, cool. For all things video games and VR, keep it locked right here to IGN.